Stampers, Deb Valder here, your Fun Stampers Journey Coach, and today I'm going to show you how to do this triangle card. I love doing these cards. They're just a different kind of fold and they're just so much fun. So let me just show you the card that we're going to do. It is an opening like this right here. And what it is just a half a sheet of cardstock cut along the diagonal. And to do that, I'm going to use one of our new products. They are just amazing. All right, so let's get started. And also I'm going to show you how to make this, but you're going to have to subscribe to my YouTube videos or to my blog and you're going to see how we're going to do this in another day. All right, but inside here is where I have a couple of envelopes. You can fit up to 4 or 5 cards in here, but I have 2 right in here right now. And I put them back to back so that I don't lose any of my embellishments here. But I have 2 of these same cards. They match this little purse right here. It's so adorable. Let me just show you another one that I've done. It is done with the same paper. And I'm going to show you that. It's done with paper from our Spring into Summer mini catalog. This catalog is only good until June 2018. This is June 2018, so make sure you have everything out of it that you want. But this is the paper that I'm talking about right here. It's called Sunday Adventure, and it is just absolutely a gorgeous paper. Remember, it's 80-pound paper. It's fantastic for these kinds of projects. It's not so thin and flimsy that once you make your project, it all just kind of falls apart. This is absolutely phenomenal paper. I love it. And that's what it's called. It's called Sunday Adventure. And then the whole suite of the coffee stuff is just gorgeous. It is just, I love this. You know, if you like tea, if you like coffee, this is the suite to get. It's absolutely adorable. Again, it's in our Celebrating Life's Moments. This is the Spring into Summer mini catalog. It's only good for a little bit longer, so make sure you have everything you want out of it. Let me just show you, I do have some cards that match this also. Let me just show you those. And again, I use the triangular card, type card, this right here. So let's just open this up. I'm opening this one up just a little bit differently. All right, and that just depends. And I'll show you when I get going on how to do that. So this one opens this way, and this one opens this way. All right, that's up to you, whatever you'd like to do. But again, using the same stamp sets from the same stamp sets and the same dies made this adorable little purse right here. It'd be great for coffee cards. So if you're giving somebody a gift certificate of coffee cards, that would be good too. All right, so let me just show you the stamps that we're going to be using and the equipment that we're going to be using. This is brand new. I'm going to show you how to use this. This is our new self-healing mat along with our retractable knife. Love, love, love this. And there are replacement blades for these. And then our brand new ruler. And you might say, well, I have a ruler. A ruler is a ruler, but it's really not. This is a stainless steel ruler that has the cork on the bottom, and it's very important that you do have the cork bottom so it doesn't move when you are using your retractable knife right here. All right, so we're going to be using those things right there. But also, let me just show you the stamp set. So coffee helps, and this is a bundle, so it does have the dies to go along with it. And you know me, I'm always cutting out extra of everything, and I put these right inside here so that I have them for the next time. I store everything in our Journey storage pouches inside my Journey storage cases. They're just awesome. But this is the stamp set that I used, and it coordinates very well with the Coffee First die set. This is just an adorable little set, and yes, I do cut a whole lot extra so that I have them when I need them. These are all the pieces that you get. You've got little tags, you've got a straw, you've got that little roundy top right here. So if you get one of those fancier drinks, and then here is a regular coffee cup top. Here's the little label. There's so many pieces in this, and it's such a great little card maker. You know, there's just so many little pieces in there that you can make them just really adorable. All right, so let's get started on making this card. Oh, and also for my little rosette, as you know, I'm a rosette nut. I'm using my Spiral Lines die. So we're going to do all of that. I'm going to show you how to do it using all of those little pieces. So let's get started. Oh, nope, can't get started yet. I've got to show you a couple more cards. So this right here was the Impossible card that I did. And remember, I did it with that same exact stamp set. That one right there, the coffee the Coffee Helps stamp set. That's what I used for my Impossible card right there. Here's one that was given to me as a gift from Glenda, and it is just an adorable little card. She gave that to me, and it had a coffee card in it. It was a Dunkin' Donuts coffee card. Here's another one that was made by Pam Nutting, and that was for our swap from our Saratoga event. Isn't that adorable? Using that stamp set, the little coffee rings, just so adorable. And then here's another one from that same event. This was another swap that I got from Chelsea Komar. Thank you, Chelsea. I love that card. Again, from the swap, this one is Lucinda Palmer's. I thought that was absolutely adorable. And then from Janice Turk, she made this one from that same stamp set and our little papers. And then you remember the one that I did just not too long ago. This is our trifold pop-up card. So I just used the same stamp set and made it into a trifold card. I do have a video on this one, so you might want to go out there and check that out. All right, so now I think we're ready to start our card. So the first thing that I did was I used my self-healing mat. And what I love about my self-healing mat, and I do have a video on this, so make sure you check it out under my product spotlight. But on my self-healing mat, it has the diagonal lines, which we're going to use today. Very important. And it also has graduations for different sized pieces of cardstock. On the opposite side, even though these are metrics with the centimeters here, I love these small grids because when I have to line things up, I can do it in these little increments, and it really does help a lot. So this is such a nice little tool right here, very handy. I also use it for gluing on, because then I can just take a wipe and just wipe it right off, and it looks as good as it does right now. So let's turn this so that we have our diagonal line going from top to bottom. I took a full sheet of cardstock right here, and it's black on black, so I hope you can see it. I took a full sheet of cardstock just like this. This was before it was cut, all right? And I took my retractable knife, opened it up, of course, and then took my ruler. Now, this is what's so important about this cork ruler right here, is that you can take and you can lay this down, and what I'm doing is just lining it up with the diagonal line, and I just cut all the way down. So that's how I made the diagonal using my self-healing mat right here. I love that. If you want to know where it is in our little pamphlet, it's in the back, or our little booklet, not little, it's 42 pages long, but it's in the back of the book. It's on page 38 and 39 of this little mini catalog. It's got your knife, it's got the replacement blades, it's got your ruler, and then it's got your journey cutting mat. This journey cutting mat is only $12.95. That is such a deal. I love that price break. Just a really nice piece to have. All right, so now we have two of these. So what I'm going to explain to you is, if you're going to have a half a sheet of cardstock cut in this crazy little place like this, why not just make two cards? Because you've already got two cards cut. Otherwise, what are you going to do with this piece right here? And we're going to cut a couple of other pieces that you're going to have the extra. So make sure you do at least two cards. If you're going to fill up your box, do 4 cards, because you're going to have an even number when you cut these in half. All right? So let's take these two. Now what I did was I scored these. The measurements will be on my blog, all right? So what I did was I scored these in the same pattern, all right? Just score over. So I scored here and I scored here with my paper trimmer. So I just brought these in, brought them over and scored, not with my cutter, but with my scorer, all right? Turned it and scored it again. Now these two marks right here are going to meet. All right, and that's very important. So I just used my scoring tool that is on my trimmer and got my scorings. Now, what I like to do is, when I'm making these cards and I'm making them for a box like this, I like to make them so that they open in the same direction. Now, you'll remember when I opened up, let me see if I can find it here. Oh, here it is. You remember that when I opened up this card, I opened it up so that it opens from left to right, and on this one I'm opening it up from right to left. All right, and all that is the other half of this piece of paper. But because I'm making a gift and they're all going to be in the same card, I want them all to open up the same way. So what I taught at my event is when you're putting your card together, make sure you just lay them going in the same direction. All right, so let's get out our crease tool right here, and we're going to start folding. So what you want to make sure you do is to fold this so that point goes right up there. All right, yes, they are scored, but you just want to make sure that your scores are in the proper position. All right, and then we're going to take this one and we're going to fold it over so that this corner meets this corner right here, and that it all just flows nicely. All right. And then you're just going to take and fold that with your crease tool. All right? Nice folds, nice crisp folds. That's what you get with your crease tool. All right? So again, I'm going to take and fold this up to the top, right up here. Okay, and then just bring this one up and over. So far, so good. We have everything in line. There we go. Okay, so now we have our folds. And remember, we're going to fold down and over. All right, so just make sure when you're putting your card together that they're going in the same direction. All right, just like this. Okay. All right, now let's finish up the inside. So the inside is just very basic and very easy. It's just a little piece of cardstock. I think I'm going to do this one 4 1/4 by 5, and we're just going to take our Easy Glide to do that part of it. So let's add our Easy Glide. The other nice part about the self-healing mat is that when you go to adhere any type of adhesive, if you get your adhesive on here, it comes right off. All right. You don't need a lot of adhesive for the inside of the card. Right? And then you can take and you can add any, let me just make sure. Let's just make, oh, we're just going to get that straight. All right, everything folds over and up. We're going to do the same on the other one. There we go. There, folding over and over. Okay, so now we have the insides done. That was pretty easy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other piece of 4 1/4 by 5, and I'm actually going to take and I'm going to cut that. So that is going to be this piece right here and this layer underneath here. So I'm just going to take, excuse me, my cutter, and I'm going to go on my diagonal. And we can do this on our self-healing mat also. But this one fits inside here, so the easiest way to do that is to just take and cut. So now I have 2 pieces. Those are my triangles, and I'm going to need 4 of those, okay? Because I need 2 for this card, and I'm going to need 2 for the other card. All right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adhere these to my 2 cards. All right? So let's just make sure. I always tell people to lay them down first to make sure you've got them going in the right direction. Okay, so here's that one, and then we can just lift them up and add the, see? You want to make sure you put the adhesive on the right side. So just kind of lay them down first. Very important to do. All right, so let's get some adhesive going on this one. And let's just roll that over. Get another piece. You want to get it close to the end. You can even use I'm going to move this out of the way just for a minute because working black on black is a little bit difficult. All right, so let's open this up just to make sure I get it nice and even. But using your self-healing mat to do this is great because if you get any glue, it'll just come right off. All right, so there's that piece. And now let's do this one. Fold those over, and we're going to do the same thing to this one right here. Okay, so now we have all of our pieces glued to our black pieces. Okay, and we want them to be going this way. All right, now we're going to do the exact same thing for this little guy right here. So what I did was I took my self-healing mat, I took my little piece of cardstock right here, this is 3 3/4 by 5, and what I did was I just cut at the diagonal. So here's one for this piece and one for this piece. Now make sure when you have a pattern that you want and you have this going the right way, you want to make sure that you cut it the right way. And the reason I say that is because if I cut it from here to here, I couldn't use this pattern. The only pattern I could have used was the one on the back. So just make sure that when you're cutting your papers and you do have patterns, you want to make sure that you're going in the right direction before you start cutting. All right, and I hope that makes sense because it's really important. So I want you also to know that when you have pattern paper like this, you want to make sure that when you're cutting it, you cut it the right way also, so that you don't, like this one I would have cut this way, and I do have one of those. Okay. So when you're cutting this, you wanted to make sure that you cut it at the 4 this way, or the 5 inch this way and the 3 3/4 inch this way. All right, so that my coffee cups were going up, they're not going this way. Although you could open your card like this also. So that's totally up to you, but just make sure that your papers are going in the right direction. All right, so this one right here has my adhesive on it. I'm just going to do this. So this only has one side to it. So we're not going to put any decorative paper down here. So that one's done right there. And then for this one, I'm going to take and do the same thing. And add this to the top. Okay. And what I'm doing is just lining it up so that everything is even. So there's a little bit of white all the way around. All right, good so far? All right, so now let's take and let's stamp our words. So I'm just going to open this up nice and flat. Now you could have done this beforehand, but I didn't. So we're going to do it right now. And you can put anything on here. I just love this coffee set. It's just adorable. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it in the lower right-hand corner for both cards. These red rubber stamps are amazing. They are just so well made and stamped so lovely. Oops, it would help if I did it right side up, right? Okay. All right, so there's our words. And now all we have to do is decorate our coffee, and then this part of it is done. Okay, so let's just take and move these out of the way. And the first thing that we're going to do is to grab our little coffee cup. So like I told you, I always do a lot of everything and then just put them in my, here it is. I put them in my little folder. So I have a bunch of these so I can just grab them. Sure, they're all the same color, but if I was doing it, I might as well just get out a bunch of scrap paper and stamp up the whatever colors I wanted. So if I wanted to do them in crumb cake or buttercream, you know, I could do that also. So what I did with this one is, these are the little coffee beans, but to me, they look like little kisses. So I'm going to take this and I am going to stamp it with my little kisses, just randomly all over. Don't they look like kisses? Well, I thought they did. Alrighty. So those are my little kisses. I'm going to take, and like I said to you, I wouldn't do this until the very end, but I just want to show you that I can take and I can clean this up. If you don't use, I like to take my cleaner and just clean this right up. See how that comes right off? Alright, so now what we're going to do is to add my pieces together. So this little guy right here already has the perforations in it. And that's what I love about these, is the detail that's involved in this. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I think I'll take my craft glue for this part of it right here. I know so many of you write to me and tell me how much you love this glue. You know, a lot of people sell you a lot of things, but I think they're really impressed with this glue. And then we're just going to add it to our little coffee cup. Full on, just like that. Now what I'm going to do is take my little mini foam squares, and I'm going to take and put them only on the bottom edge. Oops, here. I'm going to put them on the bottom edge of this part right here. All right, and the reason I'm going to do that, I'm actually going to take and I'm going to cut these. So these are already small and square, which I love. You will never go back to anything after using these square foam because they're just so easy for projects. All right, and I'm just going to put it on the bottom part of the lid. Why? Because if I put it on the top part of it, you would have glued your card shut. So we're going to do it so that the bottom part of it is only touching the rim of this part right here. I hope that makes sense. All right, if you glue your card shut, you'll know what I mean. All right, so here's these, and what I'm going to do is just glue that so that the bottom part of the rim is on my cup. See? So that doesn't show at all. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, so adorable. Now let's put this on our card. Oh, I need 2 of these, don't I? So I'm going to go back into, silly me, I'm going to go back into here and grab all of my pieces. I need the top. See how easy this is when you've got them all done? So okay, so now we have both of our coffee cups. Let's bring in our cards. Now remember to, this is so important, remember to only put your, I'm going to put 2 on here because they are a movable card, but normally you could just put 1 here on the bottom. Do not put them on the top, or again you're going to take and you're going to end up with your card being glued shut. All right, so let's just take these off. Okay, and then we're going to add them to the bottom of our card. All right, so let's just center that little guy right there. Isn't this so cute? Triangle fold card, adorable. But this stamp set and this die are to die for. All right, so there's those 2. Now what we have to do is our little rosette. And this little rosette, hang on, I got to get another one. So here's my other little rosette. Now we only want a little tiny rosette. Let me just show you here. It's not a very big one. If I used this right here, it would make a very big one and it would overpower everything. You just don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to cut that down. And by doing that, you just cut off some of the outer layers. So I'm going to take, and the way I teach this is I take this and I tell them to start at this little point right here. And for this one, I'm going to cut in 1, 2, 3, let's cut into 4. So all you have left is this little tiny thing right here. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. We don't need a very big rose. So like I said, we're cutting off all of these. So we're just going to go in 1, 2, 3, and 1 more is 4. And then if you do that, you can use these for something else, Olympic rings or whatever. All right, so now we have these 2 little guys right here. I'm going to take my quilling tool. Now you can either take a quilling tool or you can take your, put on your bloom tool, the straight edge here, and just put a little mini glue dot, maybe 2 mini glue dots on here and start wrapping it around there. But I have a quilling tool because I used to quill, and I still do actually. And I'm just going to take and start wrapping this around. So I just folded it over to the very end. I'm going to guide it with these 2 fingers, and I'm just going to go around in a circle like this. All right, and then when I get toward the end, you want to save that little circle right there because that's your landing point right here. You're going to save that, and you're going to take some of your glue right here, and you're going to put it on a generous amount, and you're going to take and you're just going to stand there and glue that together just like that. Now it doesn't take very long to well, I might have put a little bit too much glue on there, but it'll dry clear, and I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. It's going to be beautiful. All right. while that's drying, I'm just going to take and put something heavy on it while I do the other one. All right, so I'm just going to take this. I'm going to add my quilling tool. Now, when you're quilling, you don't want to take and put it this way. It's not going to fold, or it's not going to quill as well. We want to take and put the quilling tool right here, go to the edge, and you see how it's laying right across your piece? That's going to follow the circle. All right, so I'm just going to take this and follow the circle. It would be going against the grain, I guess, if you did it the other way. All right, take that out. Put a little bit of adhesive right here. I let it go a little bit loose. Okay, and then we're just going to stay and hold this. I'm going to take and put this one on here now. Okay, see that glue dried nice. All right, it doesn't take long. This is the best glue. Just buy it and try it. Buy it and try it. You will totally agree with me. All right, so now I'm going to take my pieces and I'm going to add some of our journey twine. I just have my journey, this is the white thread, and I'm just going to take and make a couple of swipes here. I just want it to be very tiny, and cut that piece off. I'm going to take a mini glue dot. I'm going to wrap it around there. And that's going to hold it for me till I get it onto my piece. All right. There we go. And take a little bit more of our Journey Craft glue. Fast drying, best on the market. I think you've heard me say that. Okay. And never clogs. All right, now I'm going to take a little bit more of this, add it right there to the top, and let that little puppy dry, and then I will fluff. Isn't that adorable? But I'm not done with it yet. All right, let's do the same thing to this one. Let's grab our, I think I got one already cut. Here it is. Okay. Just make a couple of little passes with loops. You just want little tiny ones. Okay, my fingers aren't even small enough to do the finger bow here. Okay, really cute, absolutely adorable. Grab one of my mini glue dots, or just kind of wrap it around there to hold it while we put our journey glue on. Okay. Oh, there it is. There. All right. Just enough to hold it to get our glue on here. Okay. There we go. And now I'm going to take and put another little bit on there like that. Add our little flower. Okay, I want that one to stay a little bit. Okay, go back to this one. Isn't that so cute? All right, I'm going to grab some of my Journey Sparkle Silk here. Make sure you take and shake it up, and then add that to this right here. This isn't totally dry yet. Here's one. Oops, make sure you put the top on your glue. Okay, and then add some of our Sparkle Silk to this one right here. Isn't that so cute? When this is dry, 100%, I'll just kind of fluff everything. But there they are. Isn't that absolutely adorable? And make sure you check in on my video for the little purse to go along with that, because, like I said, it's a gift all in itself. We're going to take and put the rest of this together with our little purse, and you'll have the entire package. You know how to get a hold of me. I hope you enjoyed my post for today. You take care, have a great day, and stop by soon. Thank you.